Hey guys, welcome to a new Let's Play. This time we're doing Daxter on PSP. Now, this game takes place in between the intro of Jak 2, so we'll be starting off where Jak gets knocked down, Daxter runs off, and we'll be ending the game where we rescue Jak, essentially. But, yeah, we've done Jak 1, we've done Jak 2, and now we're doing Daxter 100%. So, let us go ahead, start a new game. There's a few things we're going through much later on the Let's Play at the very end, but right now, let's start.
In the great struggle of good versus evil, there is often more to a hero than meets the eye. Just as the plants have their hidden roots, and rocks, when turned over, reveal their dark underbelly with all manner of surprises, so too is the great story of Jak and his epic fight to save Haven City. Every mother's child has heard the story well, but most have heard only half the tale. For as great as Jak was, he would never have succeeded without his often forgotten but faithful sidekick, Daxter. In my many years as a sage, and trust me, it's a big number, I've learned one very important truth. Behind every great hero, there is always a wisecracking, obnoxious nincompoop. This is his story.
I can't do this anymore. It's too dangerous.
But please, don't leave now.
Forget it! Find another crazy sucker, okay?
Oh.
Forget the rat. The Baron wants him.
Don't worry, Jak! I'll save you before you know it!
What was that? Where'd he go?
Where'd who go?
That little crazy orange? Whatever he is, I'll show him.
And there I was, toe-to-toe with 55 of the nastiest lurkers you ever saw. Suddenly, they came at me from the left, so I moved to the right with a chop and a kick and a... Wait, come back! I've got more! After I fell down to confuse the lurkers, I then... Oh.
Can you speak up, son? My ears aren't what they used to be. Tell us the one about how you can knock guards silly with a single blow.
What, I can? Oh, yeah. Those guards don't stand a chance against the old 1-2.
Yes, I'm pleased to meet you also. I'm Osmo, proprietor and chief spray technologist for the Critter Ritter Extermination Company. Let me get right to brass tacks, young man. I need someone like you. Someone with your ingenuity.
That's me.
Someone with your strength.
That's right.
Your resourcefulness.
Yep, got it.
Your bravery in the face of certain death.
What? Okay, move along, old man. You had me at hello, but you had to push it.
In short, would you like a job working for me? I'll make it worth your while.
Forget it, buddy. I don't know nothing about exterminating, and I hate bugs. Although, I could always fake it.
Hey, what? You take it. Wonderful. Meet me at the shop tomorrow. And welcome aboard.
And thus the game begins. So, I have to move Daxter over to the light beacon, and yeah, it goes by PSP controls, which are awkward. The PSP does not control that well, honestly. Before we actually go inside this area, though, because we have to, let's go to the pause menu and check out the stuff. So we have the precursor orbs and we have the metalhead orbs, which are now all finite. So also it's Jack X. We can connect that game by connecting it to the PS2, which I'm not doing, but we will get, I think we'll get one of the special things out of this. But yeah. As you can see, we also got cheats, extras, and some question mark stuff. And yeah, we have to get 1,000 precursor orbs to add summons at the game, as well as quite a lot of metalhead gems as well. And we do have to collect every single one of them, both of them, because they are finite. The metalhead gems, we have to collect every single one of them now. We can't just, like, you know, harvest them, like farm them, like we can in Jak 2. Anyway, we can also check out the controls. We can change the cameras and, you know, the sounds and, you know, we can do all sorts of that stuff, but I'll be pretty much keeping them the way they are currently, and also keep the subtitles and autosave going on as well. Okay, so we're in Haven City streets, and we're just going to go ahead on to begin the game. So, let's see what's inside of here and see what's up.
Looks like the bugs won.
What was that?
Nothing. All right. Everything with more than 2 legs start trembling, because the Daxternator is in the building.
That's the spirit. Are you ready for your first test?
Just give me the bug juice, Pops, and make it a double. I'll hose down every creepy crawly that moves.
No. You must first learn the basics. In my day, we hunted bugs with style and class. A more elegant weapon, a more civilized time. Now, for your first job, I want you to go and take out all the loose bugs in the local hotel. Go get 'em.
And thus we begin, because now we have our first weapon, the fly swatter. And it's a good weapon for meleeing, which we'll need, but first talk to him, because, you know.
Your first job is at the Westside Hotel. Find the concierge, and he will show you the ropes.
Yes, every cutscene is going to be kind of weird in this game, because it's a PSP, it goes by FMV. It's not in-game.
Daxter, I almost forgot to tell you about the communication device. I'll use this to keep in touch with you whenever you're away from the shop. Now, you're good to go, my boy.
Well, there's a precursor right in front of us, so let's go ahead and grab that, shall we? Because we need to get that for 100%. Like, every single one of them.
If there's one thing I've learned, you can never have too many of these precursor orbs.
There's also a metalhead gem right in front of us, which is the only one. Well, actually, it's a health, but we'll get to it soon.
A health pack. Ooh, bet you never guessed that one.
Yeah, there's only one right here in the main hub. One metalhead gem in this hub, so let's grab it.
Daxter, that gold gem is dropped by all of these new nasty bugs. Collect as many of these as you can. Oh, that's how I get paid.
Yeah, during this, the metalheads are actually a new thing, apparently. Maybe, who knows. So, it's gonna be unknown.
Hotel, Daxter. Head inside and talk to the concierge. And remember, your job is to exterminate bugs.
Yeah, we're just working a job, essentially. So, I mean, it's, you know, good to have actually playing this.
Get a load of this place.
It's a neat place, and it's our first level. And we can also look at the camera. We can also look free like this. A lot of tutorial going on right now. But, yeah. This is the first game Daxter we can actually play as. Because in Jak 2, we can play as him for very small amounts. Very rarely. This is his own game, though, and we solely play as Daxter. And he plays a lot like Jak, in, like, Jak 1 sense, with Jak 2 sort of style of gameplay of shooting around and such coming quite a bit later. But, yeah, we basically just, you know, do our spin attacks, do our attacking and punching and such with our fly swatter. There's also a few other things on the platform, like climbing around on walls and such, like so. Which, if you do it here, you'll find some more precursor orbs. And there are quite a bit of precursor orbs in this game, as you've seen, 1,000 of them. There will also be mini-games, so we'll get to that later on when we do. But right now, let's go and talk to the concierge and see what he wants from us.
So you must be the exterminator. Mr. Crew, our best customer, will be pleased you're here. But I don't like the looks of you. The bugs up here ate the last exterminator alive. Anyway, I'd love to let you up the elevator, but I've lost the key somewhere. Have a look round for it, will you?
Wow, he sure is an asshole, huh? And he works for Crew, apparently. So, that's great. There's the key.
Thank you. Now bring me back a nice stack of those gold bug gems, and I'll tell Osmo you've managed better than that last fellow he sent.
Alright, well, we have to bring back 25 gems, which is an objective. And all some of these elevators are broken. Good to see that Crew, is very nice at keeping these places, up and working. At least this one works, at least. But, yeah, this is our first level, which is going to be, exploring this hotel, going to the garden first, and, essentially fly swatting all these purple guys here. Which they do come in a group, and they're very easy to kill just one hit. There's also, piranha plants.
I may have forgotten to feed the plants, I'm afraid.
Yeah, this guy's an asshole. This guy's a major asshole. And we also sneak by doing that, by basically crawling down. And, it's not really sneaking much, but it does work. You can fight these, piranha plants, though. They take a few hits, but they can get killed. But yeah, the whole point of going for this game is just to explore around, because you can explore around a lot of the level. Except this game is kind of glitchy, because if you explore around certain points, you can honestly get stuck, get into some problems. Enemies can go through the walls and such, you can see. It's a little awkward, is all I gotta say about this. But hey, precursor orb. 13 of them so far. We got a whole lot of them. A lot more than the first part of Jak 2. And the first metalhead. Also, we can climb that, as you can tell from Daxter saying the...
being an Ottsel might be useful after all.
Yeah. So yeah, our first metalhead enemies are metalhead bugs. We just have to keep doing a combo like this until we get the slam going on, and then every time you slam like that, it automatically kills those guys. So the slam ability of your supply swatter is extremely useful, but you have to get a combo going to get that working. Also, you can actually jump up here. You can actually skip going around by doing this. I mean, it's kind of difficult because that floats, but if you pull it off, you can skip having to go all the way around to get that precursor orb. I still have to get the precursor orb over here, though, so I still have to go over there because I missed the jump. And, yeah, there's also this collectible right over here. This is for, this is like a combat bug thing. This is actually a mini game that is entirely just here for fun. You don't actually have to play it, and it only really is fun if you're playing on multiplayer. But we'll get to that when we get to that, because there's a thing about that fucking game that, honestly doesn't work right for multiplayer. It's kind of shit. And as far as I know, not many people even ever played the bug combat thing. They never even bothered, so yeah. Also, you see that precursor orb over there? We can't grab that right now, because we need to get certain abilities in order to get a lot of these precursor orbs and such. So unfortunately, we have to come back here later on. Yes, there is going to be backtracking. But unlike with Jak 2, where the backtracking is, forced on us with the, multiple missions for a certain area and such, a lot of these areas are just one go. You go for it once, and you never have to come back here again. So, this hotel is one of them. And you kind of just have to backtrack here when you feel like it. Luckily, all levels can be backtracked. None of them get locked off like the nest in Jak 2, so that's some good news. Nothing to worry about with 100% in this game. And, yeah, now we got a pipe. And like I said, there's something to worry about missing anything. So if I do miss any precursor orbs during the slide thing, which I didn't, because I'm good, we can always just, you know, come back here later, because we have to anyway. There's also secrets around here, but we'll get to that much later on in the Let's Play. Right now, just know that there is one thing Daxter can't do. You see this big pit over here of water? Well, Daxter can't swim. Yeah. Jack can swim, Daxter can't. So, yeah. Bit shitty, but what can you do? Besides, you don't want to die anyway, because if you do, it resets the metalhead gems on the enemies. In fact, it resets a lot of things.
Oh, did I forget to give you the room keys? Well, you'll find a way.
Seriously, this concierge is the fucking worst. I'm not surprised he works for Crew, because so far a lot of Crew's workers are just assholes. Huge assholes. Except for, you know, Sig, and maybe those guys when we were helping them back at the sewer, even though that fucking mission sucked. Luckily, Dax doesn't have any missions that are completely painful. It has the last level, which could be a bit mean, but ultimately it's not that hard a game. It is kind of like Jak 3 in the middle, though Jak 3 I would say is in the harder part of the middle, whereas Dax is in the easier part. And yeah, I mean, so far it acts a lot like, you know, Jak 1, but with some Jak 2 aspects, because we can't shoot. We don't have any guns. We don't get guns for a while. And I do mean a while, because, I mean, Jak 2 did start with us having no weapons at all. We just had to use our kicks and such. Also, there's a combat bug token around here. There's also like a potion around here as well. Those are all for combat bug stuff. Also, make sure to break everything from precursor orbs, because they do hide stuff in them. Like, no joke, there is some stuff on the table that is hiding some precursor orbs. Let's just break everything and find them. I believe it should be, yeah, there you go. But, yeah. You don't get any weapons until a bit later of Jak 2. It takes a while before we get any weapons with Daxter, though. It takes a bit longer, in fact. So, you know, there's that. Because you don't really get into much combat in Jak 2 until you get the gun. Whereas, this game, you get quite a bit of combat with the Flight Swatter. And the weird thing is, you will be using this Flight Swatter a lot fucking more than you will the gun. And there's a reason for this. There's a reason why the Fly Swatter is essentially the best weapon of the game, because of just how powerful it really is. I mean, the guns are great, but this Fly Swatter, like, once you start doing this, it's like if you keep doing that, like, also if you kill enemies as they're coming out of these holes, they die instantly. Like, one hit, no matter what kind of attack you're doing. One hit kill every time. So, if you buy a hole and enemies are popping out of it still, just stay there and keep swatting at the hole, and the metalheads will die in one hit, and you'll just get this, you know, good amount of metalhead gems popping out of the hole. Like, for instance, over in this area, watch what I'm doing here. See? Like, that's kind of abusable, honestly. And hey, it's 25 gems. And there's a lot of gems, too. However, the gems are not to actually get abilities, like in Jak 2. You'll be surprised what the metalhead gems for this game actually do. But right now, let's go ahead and grab all of them, because, well, almost all of them. We can't even grab every metalhead gem in the level on the first go either, because unfortunately, the developers have put some metalhead gems in spots we can't reach to yet until we backtrack. So, that's great. So yeah, there's a lot we gotta do. There's a lot we gotta pull off. But once we do, we can easily hum set this game, no problem. The backtracking can be a bit annoying and boring though, which is why when we do the backtracking, I'll be jump cutting that shit. So you won't be watching me go through the rest of the level in order to get back to the part which is important. Also, you can actually break everything, it's just that sometimes there's no real reason to break certain stuff. But it's kind of satisfying to do so anyway. So I just go around breaking everything because, you know, why not? For one, to just be cautious because we might miss something, because if I don't break everything, we might actually miss the precursor orb. And the other thing, because it's fun. Anyway, over on here, we're basically nearing the end of the hotel now. So all we got left is a pipe ride, which Daxter will mention. Also, there's a gap here, which again, we need to come back here for a certain thing to go over that.
Looks like the express exit for the Daxternator.
The Daxternator. That's his nickname for some reason now. Anyway, the sliding is basically like Jak 1. You know, you slide around left and right and you jump with the X button. Pretty simple stuff. It acts a lot like Jak 1 as well, in which we have to, you know, line ourselves up for these jumps to get the precursor orbs. Surprisingly, Daxter does have a good blend of Jak 1 and 2, whereas Jak 2 had barely anything of Jak 1. So, you know, this is a nice little call back to the sliding thing in Jak 1, because you don't really do much sliding, if ever, in Jak 2. And you don't have to really aim either. But, yeah, unfortunately we do have to come back here to the hotel later on in the game until we get a certain weapon, because we cannot get the rest of the precursor orbs or the metalhead gems until we do so. So right now, what we got right now is all we can get currently. That's going to be a thing for a lot of levels, so just keep that in mind. We're going to be backtracking quite a fair bit. If you're doing any percent, though, you never have to come back here ever again, so that's good news. Let's talk to Concierge and beat the mission already.
You've exceeded my expectations. Payment received in full, and I'll be phoning your employer immediately. Now off you go.
Fucking douchebag. Anyway, we did it. Congratulations, us. The first mission done. Let's leave. We get another mission immediately after this, so, yeah, the way I'm doing this is going to be one by one, essentially. Let's look around the map for a little bit before we actually end this part, though.
Good work, Daxter. I hear you did a smash-up job.
Yep, we sure did. Anything else you want us to do right now?
Now I need you to clean up a construction site. These bugs don't even wait for the building to be finished.
Wow, these bugs are dickheads. So yeah, this whole game is all about swatting bugs. What's funny is that, you know, even Ratchet and Clank, which is their rival, Jak and Daxter's rival, did the same thing with the PSP, where Clank got his own game, Secret Agent Clank, on the PSP. However, Secret Agent Clank also got a PS2 port. Daxter never got ported outside of PSP, which is kind of strange, because this game, I think, would work pretty well on a PS2, or hell, even right now, if it was ported onto PS4 or whatnot. But instead, it's only just PSP. It was never even, like, ported to PS Vita, really. It was just on its own. And I believe both games made by the same person, I believe? I know this game was made by the people who were dealing with Sly Cooper at a certain point in time. But yeah, this game was not made by Naughty Dog at all. It was made by, oh, I forgot their fucking names already. Oh well. Anyway, next time on Daxter, we'll be going to the construction site, which there are a few construction sites, in fact. This is one of those areas where you do come back here a few times. However, they're all in, like, different sections. So this is like construction site A, essentially. And we'll be doing Westside A next time on Daxter on PSP. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.